You wanted the best. You've got the best podcast. The hottest podcast in the world. The Chris Voss Show, the preeminent podcast with guests so smart you may experience serious brain bleed. The CEOs, authors, thought leaders, visionaries, and motivators. Get ready. Strap yourself in. Keep your hands, arms, and legs inside the vehicle at all times, because you're about to go on a monster education roller coaster with your brain. Now, here's your host, Chris Voss.
Hi, folks. It's Voss here from thechrisvossshow.com. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. There are these things. Welcome to 16 years. Going on 17. We're feeling old. I think in August we're 17. And, man, we're tired. But that's what coffee's for.
Well,
anyway,
you're
guys,
almost legal.
Yeah, I'm almost legal. There you go. That too. There you go. Or, well, it depends on what the FBI decides this week. I get one of my 5 ankle bracelets off, but mainly because I always remove the labels from mattresses. That's kind of my thing. Anyway, don't do that, folks. That's what the judge says. Anyway, guys, refer the show to family, friends, and relatives. Go to goodreads.com/Chris Voss, LinkedIn.com/Chris Voss, YouTube.com/Chris Voss, and Facebook.com/Chris Voss. And remember, leave those labels on your mattress or else. Anyway, we have a returning guest. She was on yesterday with one of her books that we got the chance to talk about. We're going to talk about another book that she has. She has several books. It is entitled The Wrong Side of the Flame. Bridget
Bardot.
Let me recut that. The Wrong Side of the Flame, a Bridget LaFlame mystery. Out December 4th, 2023 by Renaii West. We're going to get into it with her and all of her details and find out more about her and her books that she keeps writing that you need to read and order from Amazon today. Damn it, just go now, today. Renaii West has been writing and performing from an early age. After earning her Bachelor of Fine Arts degree, she became the dramatic arts instructor in a performing arts program where she wrote and directed many of her own productions. Desire to spread her creative wings, she is now creating fun-loving and sometimes quirky characters who inadvertently find themselves in the middle of a mystery and must use their wits and cunning to solve the case. Her passions and hobbies include mythology, classic films, travel, belly dancing, yoga, jigsaw puzzles, and of course, mysteries. And yesterday we let off with her book that should pop up here in 1 second, and got into, what was the book that we covered yesterday, Renaii?
Death by Chaos.
There you go. The internet was moving slow. So welcome to the show. Renaii, how are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. I had a blast yesterday.
There you go. Well, it's all downhill from here. So
We peaked.
give us your .coms. Where can people find you on the interwebs?
Okay. I'm at, my website is www.renaeiwest.com. And Renaii is spelled a little differently. It's RENAIWEST, like the Wicked Witch of the West or West Side Story. And then I also have a Gmail, Renaii West, spelled the same way, at gmail.com.
There you go. So give us a 30,000 overview. What's in this new book?
This new book is called The Wrong Side of the Flame. I'm going to bring it up here. It's won a few booths. Can't really see the stickers. It won a few Book Fest awards. And I like to say I designed that cover. I did not, but many people seem to like this cover.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, it's another, it's a different group of kids. I call them kids. They're much younger than my goddesses from the first book. Mm-hmm. Who they are basically, they're a little outside the edge. Some people might call them odd ducks or maybe even weird or whatever. They, the 3 ladies are belly dancers, and one is a fire performer, and their friends are also fire performers as jugglers and whatnot. They perform quite a bit at street fairs, Renaissance fairs, quite a bit. And also they hang out at maybe interesting venues, maybe more adult-oriented venues.
I think I get your drift there.
Yes, please. Thank you. And what happens, there's a person that joins them. She has many friends, but this is her core group. Bridget is the leader of the band there. Mm-hmm. She's the ringleader.
Mm.
And she has just sort of nicknamed that group her Fire Buddies. It's a term she got in college.
Oh.
And I actually got that term in college as well. So I always liked that term. So I kept it. Somebody has joined them and was with them. She noticed at some point, she's noticing the relationship is weird. He's become aloof. He's become distant. And it's a little bit awkward. And she's also a little worried about some of the new company he's keeping. And what's going to happen is somebody in the story does not make it out alive. This is what mysteries are all about. And it is ruled a tragic accident. And Bridget's like, I know. And all her other friends, her Fire Buddies, are going, what can we do? Deal with it. And she's like, no. And so she goes on a journey. And of course, she has to drag them along. And as always, they find other people they drag along. And she does discover the truth. Yes.
Can you tell us what the truth is, or do we need to buy the book to find out?
I think you should find the book.
There you go.
Yeah. But most people are happy with the truth. Okay.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where you got to read it. Now, you've written 2 other books, I believe. Was it 2 other books? I'm going from memory here.
Okay, I've written Death by Chaos, Wrong Side of the Flames, my second one, and there's a third one that should be out in April.
Okay.
Should be ready for April.
Now, is this part of a series, this book, The Wrong Side of the Flame?
It's going to be. This is the debut. So I don't have a second one yet. It seems I had the Goddesses, and this is the Fire Buddies, and then I did the Goddesses again, and then I'm going to do the Fire Buddies again.
Well, lots of Fire Buddies.
It's like 2 different,
There you go.
It allows me to explore different worlds.
Yeah. It gives you lots of different things you can take and do. So is there any connection to the characters and who you chose is there a little bit of you in here, or some of you in here?
Oh, definitely. I've been asked, because I have presented maybe people who are a little bit outside on the edge and maybe a little edgy for a lot of people's taste. And what happened is, just for fun, at one point, I'm wanting to do something different, wanting to do a new form of exercise. I took up belly dancing. I met a great group of ladies. And I just thought, as a lot of us did, we thought we'd just be taking this class as it was through an adult education. And we end up spending a fortune buying the costumes, performing at Ren Fair, street fairs, everything. Although we do not become as advanced as the characters in my book. We're always just sort of amateurs. But we did dance in restaurants and get tips and all that good stuff. And that led us to explore the Renaissance fairs. And I don't know if you know, that's a whole subculture in and of itself. The Renaii. They're called Renaii. There are people who spend almost every weekend at a Renaissance fair.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I met people in LA, and people had flown out from back east in Texas for this one, and they were going to fly out to another place for that one. I just definitely became, and that was an interesting group of people. And then they also there's a crossover at some of these venues we got invited to, first to perform and then to kind of hang out. And I just thought, there's a lot of interesting, creative, resourceful people. And I found that a lot of times they were not presented in books or TV shows well. They were either the creepy villain or they were that weird neighbor or something. And I wanted to present them in a much more positive light. And so, as far as like fire performing, I love to tell the story. I take ballroom dancing.
Oh, do you?
Yes. And that's my thing now.
That's
as we were Christmas show, there's always these showcases. One of the guys who was much younger and edgy, and in the dance, they're dancing, and then all of a sudden he breaks away, and it's supposed to be Christmas ornaments. And he does that thing. You might have seen the people that can juggle.
Mhm.
does that with the balls. And
Yeah.
I went up to him later. I said, "You do that with fire, don't you?"
Ah.
And he said, "How do you know?" I said, "I can just tell." And I said, "This is your lucky day. We're going to schedule it. I'm going to take you out to dinner, and you're going to tell me everything about fire performing."
Ah.
And you know,
Market research there.
I knew a lot about fire performing, but I really got a lot out of him. You know, it was,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I tend to dance a lot when I'm on fire too.
Yeah. No, it definitely is. Yeah.
There you go. If I in fact I think I had one friend who was a fire performer. He lost one of his eyes doing it.
Oh no.
Yeah, I think a piece of flame or whatever, he's doing with his twirly thing, and there's always shit coming off it because it's all wrapped up with stuff, and took out his eye. But he kept doing it. So I was like, you only have one eye left. You might want to cut your losses here, buddy. But yeah. He made a lot of money doing it at clubs until that who was that band Great White
Oh,
had that horrific fire. And that kind of
Yeah.
ended it because the fire insurance went through the roof on
Yeah.
clubs and stuff. Yeah. Note to
I
self.
do in my book promote the safety issues.
Oh yeah.
And now this guy that I took to dinner, he admitted, now granted, he's only in his 20s, and he admitted that a lot of his friends don't follow the protocols.
Oh.
But I made sure in my book, my characters do.
There
You
you go.
you always have a fire extinguisher and a first aid with you. There's you have to have so much room.
Mhm.
I made sure my characters it's sort of it's not lectured, but it's sort of mentioned.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Give the suggestion there. Yeah, never do a fire twirling when you're in the hay barn. That's what I learned.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not appropriate to do that.
Yeah.
Or usually in the house.
No.
Definitely want to be outside. But yeah, so lots of fire and burning going on here.
Mhm.
Yeah, there you go. In the book. So what do you hope people come away with when they read the book?
Well, in this book, fire, I consider fire one of the main characters.
Okay.
And um, I'm always fascinated with that whole pleasure pain issue or the duality of anything.
Ah,
Something can be a lot of fun until it's not. I always use the example one margarita, that's good. A whole pitcher of margarita, not so good. It's finding the balance.
well, I mean, is a whole picture bad if you end up dancing on the tables and entertain everyone? I mean, your skirt might be over your head, but
Unfortunately, that doesn't happen. I ended up on the floor,
you end up on the floor.
and it's got to be cleaned up, and that's all I'm going to
Whoa.
tell you.
Oh, wow. Okay. I
Okay.
think I
No,
knew.
no. I mean, someone
Alluding to that.
maybe it's 2 margaritas that I dance.
Yeah.
Everybody's got to find their balance. And anyway,
If you're having
so-
margaritas, you're going to have trouble with balance here in
Yeah.
a short time.
no, so fire, the duality of it.
Yeah.
And so fire definitely. And so there's the idea of what you're going to sacrifice for fame, what you're going to sacrifice for your ambition. We tell people to get out of their comfort zone, but sometimes the comfort zone is telling you this is where you belong. And
Mhm.
so I want people to the idea of, and they're understand that these characters are constantly figuring out the balance. There's the flame to stay on the right, the right side of the flame. Obviously, you can get on the wrong side of the flame, and that's where you get burned.
Mhm.
And then, like my first book, the idea of friendship, the idea of loyalty, what they, the efforts they put in to find the truth because they felt they needed, this would be justice for this person.
Mhm.
And then, so I hope they appreciate the characters. I hope they appreciate the love and affection they have for each other, the friendship, and again, the loyalty they have.
Mm. There you go. Loyalty is a big deal.
Yeah.
And so, you've intertwined a little bit of your life into this. When did you
Uh-huh.
start writing? I think we talked about this a little bit yesterday, but in case people missed that show, we'll duplicate it a little. When did you begin writing?
Well, I think I've been writing my whole life, and I will
Mhm.
tell the story again from yesterday. I remember starting to write a lot of poetry while in elementary school. And, and I didn't realize till years later, my mom was keeping a copy of everything. And I think I must have been lost. I think I even appeared in some children's literature magazine or something. I think my mom submitted something. And I know for a talent show, because I can't really sing and I wasn't really a great dancer, I wrote for a talent show. I wanted to be in it because I was doing a lot of acting at that time. So I wrote a little murder mystery that me and a few friends performed. And so that was fun. And then I did, when I was teaching drama, I was lucky enough to get into, it's called the School of Creative and Performing Arts. It was a magnet program within a regular program. And we did 2 big productions a year, usually at the end of the semester. But most of the rehearsals were done during school hours, during that class time. And I bet you know this because I can guess what kind of junior high kid you were. If you don't give a kid something to do, they'll find something to do.
Oh, yeah.
And usually it's not what you want them to do.
Yeah.
And I was a popular teacher. I had like 30 kids signing up for each class. And I had to find a way to incorporate 30 kids in a play. And because they just didn't exist.
Wow.
And so I just began writing. And to this day, I don't think they know this, although I'm friends with some former students. They might see this and they go, hey, I thought this kid's really talented this way. I'm going to write the part this way. Oh, and she's my leading lady. I'm going to write it this way. And then I would have auditions like everybody, like everybody stood a chance. No, I already knew who was going to do what part.
Oh, busted.
Yeah. Or for the most part, but no. So I found that very satisfying.
Yeah.
I mean, more so than I thought. I did it out of desperation, but I found it very satisfying. And I found when I took up belly dancing and also with ballroom dancing, if I have a story, I just don't want to do steps. I have a story that I'm trying to tell. You may or may not get it. It doesn't matter. It affects my mood. It affects my facial expression. And I just realized at some point, I am a storyteller. I need to tell stories. I like telling stories.
Yeah, we're the sum. Our whole lives are the sum of stories.
Yeah.
If you erased your stories, who would you be? I mean, you'd be like, I don't know who it would be.
Yeah.
But you just be sitting around and people are like, hey, how'd you get here? And you're like, I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know if you know this song, Harry Chapin. He's famous for the Taxi song and the Cats in the Cradle song.
Cats in the Cradle, yeah.
He has a song called Short Stories in the line is short stories that what we live, just take what I can give. And I think it's in a relationship with somebody and they're just going to have short stories. And I thought there's something to that.
Yeah. I mean, it's stories are, I sadly, I didn't figure this out, even though I own a podcast. Sadly, I didn't figure this out till like 50, where it occurred to me that everything is stories, TV, television, theater, radio, my podcast, everything is sharing stories. And stories are the fabric of our lives, I like to say. And that's how we learn. There's no owner's manual that you get mailed. Mine got lost clearly in the mail. Everyone I talk to seems to still be using the United States Postal Service, I guess. And yeah, I'm throwing shade. I put up with a shit from that division. Yeah, where are the some of our stories? And that's how we learn. We teach each other, So a lot of these stories have blueprints of survival, overcoming adversity, overcoming cathartic moments, stories of triumph, the phoenix rising from the ashes. We love these because it gives us inspiration and hope. And hope is one of the most endearing things that, frankly, is the last thing I can, is the one thing I can put up with human beings.
This is these blankets. These are the phoenix rising from the ashes.
Oh, okay. There we go.
One of my favorite myths as well.
See, I didn't even know I was doing a subconscious show tie in there to your background.
Yeah.
That worked out well. It was almost like I planned it. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, people love these stories, and you know, we go through so many things. We go through tough times, and you know, it's sometimes we think we're alone, and the universe is just beating up on me and abusing me, and the universe hates me. I should just quit and give up. And no, you can talk to a lot of other people, and you can thank God there's so many independent book writers and so much democratized data that you can take and go find if you want to research something. Then you can find how other people survived, and they give you their blueprints, and they'll go, hey, here's what I did to get through whatever it was. And so the grace is there that we can find hope again through each other, through our stories, and we can learn. And hopefully we can be smart enough not to make the same mistakes, or at least not make the same mistakes twice.
We just make new mistakes. Yeah.
Or 5 or 6 times maybe.
Yeah.
So 8 times 10, whatever. I know people, they got a whole lifetime of you're like, and how many times you didn't learn nothing? Some people that's the venture for them. They like that.
Yeah.
All right. So now you got some upcoming, I think, speaking engagements or something like that we want to talk about.
Yeah, I'm going to be participating in the I think it's called the LA Book Fair. It's on the USC campus. For those of you who don't know, University of Southern California.
Oh, okay.
Okay, go Trojans. Campus. I think it's the 3rd weekend in April.
Okay.
And it's a big event. It's a huge event. My books were featured there last year. I did not attend. I spent the last year getting 2 new knee replacements.
Oh, wow.
So I was in the midst of recovering from one, and you trust me, I'm a dangerous driver to begin with. You did not want me driving with one wonky knee. Yeah. And so anyway, but I will be there physically this time, and I will be, with my 3 books, and I will be signing. And so, please come up and say hi. And then last year, I also participated in the Chicago Book Fair. It's on Printers Row. I'm not familiar with Chicago with the areas, but I know this area is called Printers Row. I think it's a historical area where I think there must have been a lot of printing.
There must have been some printers, yeah.
Yeah, really a huge book fair.
It'd be funny if there wasn't any printers there.
I know. Anyway, it was definitely a lot of fun. I again will be there as well. So, and again, I should have the 3rd book up and they're ready to be signed and presented as well. So
there you go.
Look forward to that. Yeah.
Well, that should be a lot of fun. Yeah. People can see you out and about. So as we go out, give people a final pitch out to pick up the book, tell them where they can find it online and all that good stuff.
Okay, it's The Wrong Side of the Flame, and you can find it on Amazon.com. It is available in this pretty paperback version, also Kindle, and now audio. And so
the audio book as well. So there, it's been fun to have you on twice, Renaii. Thank you very much for coming on. And then we'll look forward. Do you have an anticipated date for that future book in the series?
The one, the 3rd one, Murder at the Aphrodisia. Again, it's in the process of being approved. I had to approve the layout, and I saw one correction that needed to be made. And again, I'm not at all a manual labor person, unfortunately. So I don't know what's involved in getting these books printed.
A lot of work.
The physical aspect, yeah.
Yeah. I think
I've done everything at my end.
There you go. You write the books and then somebody else does the rest.
And then I correct them and stuff, yeah.
So did we get your .coms, any websites we want to promote before we go out?
Again, www.renaeiwest.com, RENAIIWEST, and then Gmail at renaeiwest.com. And then Renaii W on, I guess it's called X. It used to be Twitter. Yeah.
Yep. Or what we like to call it is Twitter. Fuck Elon. I'm going to call it Twitter. I grew up on Twitter. I made my bones and my money off of Twitter to start. And it's always going to be Twitter to me. I miss it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I miss the old days of Twitter when it was still kind of a kumbaya sort of thing. People were a little bit more nicer to each other, maybe. So, yeah, there you go. All right, so we'll get into it there, and thanks for coming by the show. We really appreciate it.
All right,
Folks,
and thank you.
Thank you. Folks, order up her book wherever fine books are sold. The Wrong Side of the Flame, a Bridget LaFlamme mystery there on Kindle. Thanks for tuning in. Be good to each other. Stay safe. We'll see you guys next time.
You've been listening to the most amazing, intelligent podcast ever made to improve your brain and your life. Warning, consuming too much of the Chris Voss Show podcast can lead to people thinking you're smarter, younger, and irresistible sexy. Consume in regularly moderated amounts. Consult a doctor for any resulting brain bleed.